check out my latest project. Did a custom mailbox. Metal flake, Kandy, some patterns. Okay, this is all the same products that you would use to paint a car or a motorcycle. It's really good practice for that. Or just to make some cool stuff like mailboxes or anything you'd want to paint. So this was a new mailbox. So once I got it, I sanded it with 600 grit paper, and then I put one coat of epoxy sealer just to get it all sealed. Who knows what kind of paint they used on it. And then I put 2 coats of Basecoat, and I used silver. That way the flake covered a little bit easier. And then I did 3 coats of flake over top of the silver Basecoat. On this I used 0.008 and 0.004 chrome holographic flake, and I mixed that in the intercoat. And then I put 2 coats of clear on top of that, let that cure, sanded it completely flat with 800 grit paper, and this is where I'm starting now. Got a nice flat surface, everything's even. So now I'm going to use this Fineline tape. This is 1/4 inch for the wide stuff and 1/16 inch, and go ahead and lay out the whole pattern. Get it all ready to start doing some cool patterns and lace and Kandy over top of that. If you want to see how that whole process is done, the first part that I just described, I have another video with a mailbox, another one with a gas tank. You can go back and check them out, and it shows the entire process. And as far as the size of the flake, if you want to get an idea of what they are compared to each other, I have another video that is just about flake size. Goes over I put 4 different flake sizes from the smallest to the biggest, and a comparison with them next to each other so you can kind of see what size you would want. On a medium-sized project like this, I like the medium-sized flake. And I do like to mix the flake sizes together. Kind of gives it a different effect. When you cut this tape, make sure you just barely score the tape so you don't get into your base. You can even hold the razor blade on where you're cutting and pull the tape up, and it'll cut right off. Okay, got it all taped out. Now it's ready to get the airbrush out and get some patterns and Kandy in all the sections here and start making it look good. For this top pattern, I'm using like a fishnet stocking type thing. Works good because you can open it up, slide the project in there, and then just tape off where you don't want it to hit. This works good for keeping it in place. You don't have to tape it down or anything. This is a Kandy black, and I'm doing it out of an airbrush, so it usually doesn't come out too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats of this. Anytime you're doing a Kandy, you want to try to get it nice and even. Because if you do too much overlap or you go over another section, it's going to be darker than the other pieces. So just nice and even all the way across. That looks good. Same thing, that's 2 light coats over the lace with an airbrush. So for these other sections, I'm just going to use some stencils. Just kind of get creative. I'm going to stick them on, just do each one, flip them around different ways. And this is the same black that I used for that lace on top. It's just a candy black. Okay, after all the fine line tape, got our patterns down. Just tried some different stencils here, and tried a different kind of lace. I thought it turned out kind of cool. And on the back, I just did like the standard tablecloth lace. This was all done with 1 to 2 coats of black candy concentrate. So now we're just gonna separate each panel out, tape it off, and do a different candy over each section, different color. Okay, got everything back taped. I'm gonna do this section in this section with this Tropic orange candy concentrate made from the powder pigment. That's what it looks like. Okay, I got this section here taped off. I'm going for a yellow and orange on this. So to do this in yellow, I'm going to use House of Color Candy Concentrate. And this is Spanish gold. To get the gold, you have to do at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 coats. So I found to get a yellow, using this with maybe 2 coats, it pretty much turns out yellow. So check this out. Now that we got the candy colors down, I'm going to go back with this candy black and do in between my 2 fine line tapes, so it leaves a black stripe around everything once the tape is pulled, and then go over a little past the tape. That way it leaves a nice shadow around all the panels. Now it's time to pull our fine line tape. I'm using a plastic razor blade here. Just get under it a little bit. Make sure you pull it nice and slow. Make sure none of your paint's peeling up with it. Just take your time on this part.